back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Anna, and today I am doing an updated Q&A for you guys. I like to do these every 6 months to a year, just because I know a lot of you guys have questions. I do have a lot of new followers both on YouTube as well as Instagram, so I like every once in a while asking you guys to ask me some questions that you would like answered here on my YouTube channel. So I asked on Instagram, I asked on YouTube as well, and you guys have left a lot of questions, and I'm gonna get to a lot of them today. And just thank you so much, because I really like the questions. I know there are sometimes questions that I do tell you guys to leave in the comment section down below, and I do answer you, but I do also like kind of doing this live Q&A so you guys can get like not a response from a computer, but actually from me, and you guys can see me face to face. So yeah, let's get started, because I have a lot of questions. So not all of them are crystal related, but the majority are. So let's just get right into them. So the first question: what is your next big dream / goal to accomplish in your life? That is a really good question. So my next goal, actually, believe it or not, can tell you a crystal related goal and then a life goal. So my next goal is to save up for a house. Now you guys know that recently I did move, which I did, but I do live in an apartment, and you know, apartment living just comes with its own kind of like ups and downs. Upside, I don't have a backyard I need to take care of. I don't need to shovel snow, blah 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 blah. But the downside is you have neighbors, right? Your neighbors can sometimes be noisy, be loud, be annoying. So you know, I just want my own home, like my own little sanctuary, peace and quiet. And I do get that in my apartment a lot, but again, neighbors, right? And especially with this last year, so many people have moved out of New York City. So I kid you guys not, it's been almost a year of dealing with construction from other apartments of people who have moved, right? Because when other people move, new people need to move in, but they have to renovate the apartment before that actually is able to happen. And let me tell you guys, the renovation noise, the construction noise, the hammering from 9 to 5, mind you, I am still working from home. Yes, somehow I am still working from home. Our company just really wants to be careful, and just, you know, if you are going to get vaccinated, they want to give you the chance. They didn't want to rush anyone back into the office, so I am actually still working from home. So trying to work from home also with the construction always going on is just such a nightmare. So anyways, long story short, like a big kind of goal of mine and accomplishment is to save up to do that, to buy a house for myself as well as my parents. We don't live together now, so it'd be nice to have us all kind of under one roof, but also like for us to both have our own spaces, obviously. So that's definitely a goal of mine within the next year to 5 years, because that's the thing, I don't ever want to limit myself. So I do set goals and I do set time frames, but I also don't want to be disappointed if I don't accomplish that in a year or so. So we'll see. You know, the shop is growing, you guys are just so amazing and getting the word out there. So I'm, you know, I really hope that that's my next like life goal. And then my next crystal goal, actually, to be honest with you guys, is I've been kind of playing around with the idea of possibly getting like a storefront in New York City. And you guys know that comes with like a lot of expenses, and New York City, it's like, oh, it's expensive. It is expensive. But obviously I wouldn't be like on 5th Avenue in Manhattan, you know, where you see in all the movies. I would not be in that area, obviously, but somewhere in the city, because I feel that there aren't enough places in the city for, you know, people to go and buy crystals. So I possibly might be a future accomplishment is opening up my own store. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, that's definitely something that I've thought of, something that now I'm thinking a lot more about, and kind of just looking at branding, possibly like spaces. So yeah, it's not something that's going to happen within like the next year or two, definitely not. I definitely have to save a lot more money for that and a home. But yeah, definitely something that's on my radar and something that I have been thinking about, especially since it's just, we don't have crystal shops like that accessible like other places do. So I think that'd be really cool just to open that opportunity up somewhere here in the city, just another space for people to buy crystals. So we'll see. Still an idea, not set in stone yet, but that's kind of like maybe a potential goal that can happen a few years down the line. All right, next question. How do you keep your cat off your crystal shelves? Yes, okay, so I did mention this in my previous video last week. So someone did ask me. So I don't necessarily keep them off my shelf, because here's the thing. So I did mention this in the other video. You can buy something enclosed, right? You can buy like an enclosed glass case or something like that, store your crystals that way, so you know for a fact like your animals won't get to it. But shelving wise, you really can't do anything much except for either lock it in a room where you know your cats won't get to it. Like in my other apartment, I had all my crystals, when my crystal collection didn't get insane and out of control, when it still did fit into my room, everything was in my room. So I would close my room every single time I left. And even if I was like out hanging out in the living room or cooking something, I would close my door so my cats wouldn't get in. So that's one thing. Or you can like, you know, and if you don't want to spend the money on the shelf, do something like that. Like put it in a room where you can close the door or walk away and you don't have to worry about it, right? The next thing I would suggest is if you do see that your cat is getting close to like where your crystals are stored or on those shelves or likes to hop up on those shelves, just kind of yell at them. I'm gonna be honest with you. Just yell at them, scare them. Just be like, hey, what are you doing? Get off. Like things like that, right? So then they become aware of like, oh, I don't want to go there because I'm gonna get yelled at, she's gonna get mad, you know, kind of give them, the cats do learn, they do pick up on these things, just like dogs, how you can teach them to fetch and sit and all that. Cats, same thing. Like if you get them in trouble enough, like if you catch them doing it enough times where you can be like, hey, stop it, eventually they'll stop because they don't want you yelling at them. So that's what I would suggest if that's an issue that you're having. Okay, next question. Do you ever get tired of selling crystals and being in such a saturated community? Really good question. And I will say this, the crystal community is really saturated. There are a lot of crystal suppliers out there, but the good thing about it is everyone sells something different. There's definitely things that I've seen in other shops that I haven't seen in others. There's things that I try to bring in that I haven't seen in other shops, and vice versa. I've seen things in other shops that I haven't brought in. So that's what's really great, is that there are so many people, but there's so many crystals that we can all kind of have a space to kind of sell something and make profit and have a following and things like that. But I will say sometimes it gets discouraging. Like there will be times where, you know, I bring in a crystal and I'm so excited to share it with you guys, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited, I haven't seen this in other shops, I'm gonna post this like next week, oh, I'm so excited. And then I see someone else posted it that same day. Like either they're selling them or they're gonna have a live show this week with them, and I'm like, oh, what? Like, you know, you get kind of disappointed because like you're so excited and you're like, okay, this is my thing, I got it into the shop, I'm gonna be the first one to kind of, you know, I haven't seen it in other shops, I'm gonna be the first one to put it up in my shop, and then another shop beats you to it, and it's kind of like, oh man. But you know, that comes with the territory, right? But I say the more the merrier, right? We are a community here, right? I don't see this as a competition. I definitely see the crystal community just as that, as a community. Now I know everyone is fighting to have the next best and greatest thing in their shops. I absolutely understand that. But you know what? Again, everyone has their buyers, the people that always come back to them and things like that. So even though if they do see it in other shops, they'll wait for you to have it, or they'll ask you, hey, are you getting this into your shop? Like, I'll wait to buy it from you when you have it. So that's the great thing, right? It's like once you get a following, once you get people that buy from you, there are people who come back and they just want to buy from you, or there are people who specifically just trust you and don't buy from other shops. So again, as much as it is saturated, it does get discouraging sometimes. Keep your head up, keep trying new things, you know, even if you see other shops do it, whatever, do it your way, make it like, you know, amazing in your way. Just don't get discouraged, because it's definitely, it does get discouraging sometimes to be in the crystal community because there are so many of us, there are so many people who sell them, so it gets discouraging, but it's very well worth it. All right, next question. Would you ever make crystals your full-time job? Now, I get this question every single time. As of right now, no. And the reason for that being is I think if anything the pandemic has taught me is that it's always good to have not just one source of income coming in. So I do have a 9-to-5 job, so crystals are not my full-time job. I actually have a 9-to-5 that I have to go to every single day. Luckily, you know, we have, because of the pandemic, we have been able to work from home, and this is how my shop and YouTube and everything kind of blew up, is because I was really able to focus on my crystals and really getting it out there, getting the word out there, promoting my shop, getting business cards made, things like that. These are all things that I didn't have the time for when I was also doing my 9-to-5 job. So the pandemic just kind of helped slow things down. And now that I was working from home, I can work from home, step away from what I'm doing on my laptop for a little, focus on my shop, do something there. You know, like business cards. Like I never had business cards until I went remote because I didn't have the time. I didn't think of it. I was like not stressed out, not bad stressed out at my 9-to-5 job, but you know, a job is stressful sometimes. So you get stressful. I have to do a lot. I'm an assistant, so there's a lot that I have to do at my 9-to-5 job. I'm usually go, go, go. I'm always on my feet. I'm always doing a lot. So by the time I get home, I'm exhausted and it's hard. So I didn't have a chance to do banners, to do business cards, none of that. But then when everything happened with the pandemic, I like got so much time back to myself, especially with the commute. You guys, my commute home is 2 hours. It takes me 2 hours to get home from my job. That's like 3 to 4 hours that I got back in my day because I just sign on to my laptop, sign off, and then I can do whatever because I'm already home. So will I make it my full-time job anytime soon? No. Could it be potentially in the future? I might, yes. But the thing is, I'm also this type of person that I get so worried. I've always lived, so I don't know if you guys know, you might not, but I was raised in a household, in a middle-class household, and we always just had enough money. We did go on trips, right? Like, but I didn't always have like the nicest things or, you know, the new shoes or the new this or the new that, because we didn't have that type of money. So we were able to afford to go on vacation every day, but we did also live check to check. I mean, I always had a roof over my head. I always had food in the fridge, thank God. Like my parents were absolutely amazing. We all immigrated here from another country, so they had to learn a language. They started working right away, so their hustle is like, oh, it really taught me how to hustle. But yeah, we've always lived check to check, so we've never been better off. We've never been in a position where we can't work, or, you know, we could just take like a month off and go do whatever, or have all this money in savings. We never had that luxury. I never had that luxury. I still don't have that luxury. So I just am always worried about that. I'm always worried about not having enough, or what if something happens, God forbid, if I get sick, if I get cancer and money's needed, I don't have that money. I always get scared of that. So I don't know. I have to hustle. I just feel like I always have to hustle. So I feel like I have to be doing a lot. I feel like I need this crystal business, but I also need my 9-to-5 job. I can't give that up either. Also with my 9-to-5 job, right? I have a savings account. I have an IRA with them. I have benefits with them, like health insurance, right? I mean, let's talk about the health insurance stuff that's going on in the world right now. Oh my God, it's crazy. And the fact that so many people died because they were scared to go to the doctors or didn't have the money to. I mean, it's crazy. So there's just a lot to think about when you want to make a crystal business full time. So it's not that I haven't thought about it. I really have. And can I sustain myself with what I make from my crystals now? No. And not living in New York City, I can't afford everything. I can't afford my rent, my bills, health insurance coverage, food, and everything on just what I make in crystals. Also, please realize, guys, I'm not doing live shows, right? I only do Etsy's and postings on Instagram. I don't make hundreds or thousands of dollars a week on a live sale. I don't make that type of income from my crystals. I wish I did. That'd be great one day. Like, that's definitely a goal. I'm not giving up on that. I definitely hope to one day. But just understand, like, I'm not making what a lot of the bigger crystal shops or crystal shops that do live shows make. I don't make that type of money. When I do, and I could be that financially secure, a possibility. So when I start making what like a lot of these other shops make when they do live sales, yeah, I can make this full time. But right now, I am definitely not making that type of money to make this like full time. All right, sorry, kind of babbled there. Next question. Do you ever get discouraged being a crystal seller with competing with other shops? Oh, well, that's a great question because I think I did answer that previously. So yes, again, sometimes it does get discouraging when you get so excited to show your people like the new things you have coming in, but then you see other shops already posted it or posted it like before you got to post it. So it does get a little discouraging because you get sad, right? Because you got so excited to bring it in and kind of being like the first person you've seen with these crystals, and then you see other shops posting it, but it's just what it is, right? It is the crystal community. It's like a lot of people buy a lot of the same things, and that's okay, right? Because every shop has their own audience and their own people who follow them. So does it get discouraging? Yes, but it's also, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's just kind of, it is what it is, right? That's just what it is when you're in the crystal community and you're a crystal seller. Next question. I really appreciate your prices compared to other shops. How are you able to keep your prices so affordable? Really great question. So it kind of ties into what I've mentioned before. So I don't do this full time, right? A lot of people who do this full time, they can take into consideration their time, their travel, right? If they have to travel to the post office or something like that. So it's your time like setting up live shows, you know, packing items, things like that. So there's a lot that people put in, as well as you have to think about it. This is their full-time job. So this pays their mortgages, their insurance, maybe their kids' schooling, you know, food for the table. So there's a lot more that goes into it, right? So I have a 9-to-5 job, right? So my 9-to-5 covers all my bills. It covers my mortgages, it covers my food, it covers all of that. So this is just like a side hustle for me. So to be honest, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, and I know some of you might be like, what? I don't really make a profit off of my crystals, and I'm gonna be completely 100% transparent with you guys right now. I don't make a lot of profit because I don't double or triple or quadruple my prices on crystals. I really don't. I try to maybe sometimes add a couple dollars. Some things I do double, but very rarely. But I don't add a lot to what I buy my crystals for. And basically all the income that I make from my crystal sales, I put right back into buying new crystals. So to be honest with you guys, I'm not really making that much of a profit. Like, I'm just breaking even. So basically what I'm buying the crystals at and what I'm selling to you guys is like basically the same amount. And people are like, what are you doing? Then this isn't a business. How are you gonna make money? Again, it's just like, I want my crystals to be affordable. I want everyone to be able to afford them. My mortgages are covered. I don't have kids, not mortgages, I rent, but my rent is covered. My bills are paid. I don't have kids to take care of. So this isn't my full-time job. I already do have a full-time job that gets a lot of my bills paid and things like that. So again, I don't want to really mark up my crystals too much. I try to be as fair as possible. I also understand we are in the middle of a pandemic, right? Money is hard right now for a lot of people. But there are also a lot of people that love crystals and want to buy crystals. So, you know, I just want to make them affordable. And then I also remember when I was a collector myself, there were so many pieces that were just out of my price range that I could not afford. And I was sad because I really wanted, there's so many things that I, you know, missed opportunities and crystals that I passed up because I just didn't have the income for them. So I get the struggle of being I just get the struggle of being someone that likes to buy crystals and a collector myself, but then not having the income to do so. So I really try to not be ridiculous with my prices because I just don't think it's fair. But again, on the other side, I do understand why people charge more for certain things, because again, if they are doing it full time, there's more to take into consideration, right? They are paying their bills, they're, you know, supporting their children, putting their children through school with that money. So I do understand why other shops do have higher prices, because they do have more that they put into their work, right? This is their only job. This is their only source of income. So I absolutely understand it. All right, next question. Do you ever get burnt out? Yes, of course, of course. And I don't want to say I get burnt out from selling crystals. I actually love selling crystals, and I actually love this. I love YouTube. I love making videos for you guys. I love interacting with you guys. I love selling crystals and getting new crystals in. They make me so happy. But I just burn out in general because I'm doing so much, right? Because I have a 9-to-5 job. I'm doing YouTube where I have to film videos, then I have to edit them, then I have to get them posted. Then I'm also doing a crystal shop where I have to keep my feed going on Instagram. I have to post weekly on Etsy. So it's just, you know, it's a lot, right? It's a lot. You just are gonna burn out because you're doing so much. But I don't burn out like in a bad way. I just get to a point where I'm like, okay, I just want to relax. I don't burn out to a point where I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to have a mental breakdown. I can't do this anymore. This is so frustrating. It really stresses me out. I don't burn out like that. I burn out where I say, you know what? I think I'm going to step away from a week from crystals, from this, and I'm just going to take a week off and just, you know, enjoy my time. Go to Starbucks in the morning, have a nice walk, just play around with my crystals, watch some movies, catch up on some shows. That's what I do. I don't get stressed out to a point where I'm like, oh my God, this is so frustrating and I have so much anxiety and I get so stressed out, I'm burnt out. I don't get that type of burnt out. I get burnt out where I just am like, you know what? I'm gonna take this week for myself. And in March, I have so many things coming up at the end of March that I just decided, you know what? Let me take these next 2 weeks for myself. It's well deserved. I post all the time. I post weekly on here, on my Instagram, on my Etsy. I'm just go, that I was just like, you know what? I have some things coming up that I'm gonna celebrate. Let me just take some time and I take the time. I decide, okay, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. I actually took a week off of my 9-to-5 job also. So one of the weeks that I'm away, I'm actually away from everything. I'm away from crystals. I'm away from my 9-to-5 job, so I can really like sleep in and rest and just, you know, have a nice week off. All right, next question. What is your favorite crystal shop on Instagram? That is a good question. So I have to say, hands down, my favorite shop would have to be Synergy Tribe, and I'll list that up here. She is the first crystal page that I ever bought anything from. I'm trying to remember, I can't even remember what my first purchase was from her, to be honest, because it was so long ago, it was a couple years ago. But she was the first crystal account on Instagram that I ever bought crystals from. Before, I was buying crystals off of eBay, and when I did one of my collections for YouTube, someone mentioned Instagram for crystals, and I never even thought about it. So they mentioned her shop, and I was like, oh, let me pop in, let me see what this is about, because I had no idea what it was about. So I popped into one of her live shows. You guys, I ended up, I think I bought a lot that day. I did end up buying a lot of crystals that day, but I have followed that shop since day one. That was my very first Instagram shop that I ever shopped from, and I always keep going back. Like, I keep getting pink amethyst from her and just a really amazing crystals. She brings in really beautiful, high quality crystals. So I just always keep going back to her shop and keep buying, because I don't know, I'm a loyal customer. That's just what happens, you know. Sometimes you just get loyal. Like, I have really amazing loyal customers who come back to me all the time and always buy from me, and I'm so thankful. And it's just, you know, it goes both ways. I just have shops that I'm, you know, I shopped with since day one, and I keep shopping with them because I really love them. Because again, as I mentioned, every shop is different, right? Not every shop is going to have the same exact thing or the same crystals. Every shop has different things, different qualities, you know, higher qualities, lower qualities, different shapes, things you haven't seen before. There's so much. And her especially, she goes to a lot of the gem shows, and a lot of the gem shows, they usually bring out like newer, nicer pieces. So she usually always has really nice, high quality, like gem show specimens that she brings in. So I absolutely love her shop, and I always go back to it. Next question. What's your favorite crystal? Okay, my favorite crystal, I have to say, that's the thing. My favorite always changes, because my favorite for a very long time when I first started was fluorite. Then it was lepidolite. So I always kind of change it up. Right now, my current favorite is pink amethyst. I mean, I think you guys can tell, especially from last week's video. I think I had like 6 or 7 new pink amethyst items. Yeah. Pink amethyst all day, every day. I feel like that's all I ever really want and buy a lot, like in bulk of. That's something that I'm always buying, no matter what shape, size, whatever it is. Like, I just need pink amethyst. So I would definitely say that's my current favorite. Next question. How did you come to the decision to open your shop? So a lot of people ask this, and a lot of people who are new and haven't seen my videos, or, you know, haven't seen how I've answered this, I actually started here. So I started doing a lot of just my personal crystal hauls, like what I was getting from Instagram shops, like other crystal shops, and just showing you guys my crystal collection. And then a lot of you guys were like, oh my God, Anna, you should open up a shop. I would definitely buy from you, you know, do it, like open it up, or like start destashing or whatever. So I played around with the idea of destashing. So I started destashing some of my stuff on Etsy. That went quick, and you guys were like, oh my God, keep doing this, we love this, like become a seller. And I was like, I was so on the front about it. I was like, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna sell anything, I don't want to do it, I'm not sure. And you guys, I just went for it. I was like, you know what, it doesn't hurt, let me try. If I buy something, no, it doesn't sell, I'll just mark it down, I'll sell it for what I bought it for, basically, and I'll move on with my life. I'll move on and just not do it and whatever. But you guys were so supportive, and you guys were the ones that pushed me to do it. And then when I did it, and then when I saw all the support and you guys buying these crystals, I was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to, like, this is what I'm meant to do. I really feel that. And for the longest time, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I really didn't. And that's why I started YouTube, to be honest. I was going to my 9-to-5 job, and I'm like, is this it? Is this what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life? Just my 9-to-5 job, coming home, passing out, waking up and doing it again the next morning? Like, I was so annoyed. I was just coming home, watching TV. I was bored on weekends. I had nothing to do. So it was like, then I was like, let me start YouTube, because I always wanted to do YouTube before anything. So I was like, you know what, let me start YouTube, because for the longest time I wanted to do YouTube. Then I got into crystals, and I was like, you know what, let me just post my crystal hauls on YouTube and see what people think. that blew up, and then everybody on YouTube was telling me do a crystal shop, and then here we go, I opened up a crystal shop. So that's how it started. Is I really did have the following and the amazing support from you guys here on this platform that I was able to then open up my shop on Etsy and Instagram and be successful on that platform. So it all started here, it all started on YouTube, and it all started with maybe I should do a YouTube channel, and then maybe I should do crystals on my YouTube channel, and then maybe I should try to do, you know, become a crystal shop, and here we are today. That's how life works. All right, next question, and these last two questions I actually got here on YouTube. So one of the questions was, how old are you? So actually, you guys, first of all, you're never supposed to ask a woman how old she is. That's so like not okay, but I'm not, it's fine. I'll just tell you guys, like, I really don't mind at all. I am actually 29 years old. I am hitting 30 this year, the big 3-0. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it's like, it's so funny because I get so many compliments. Like, I'll be out, like, I don't know, I'll take an Uber somewhere, or I'll just be out somewhere, and someone's always like, how old are you? And I tell them, and they're like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, why? And they're like, you look so much younger. And so many people tell me that. They're like, you look so much younger than that. And it's like, no, it's just, yeah, I'm old. I'm getting old. My 20s are gonna be in my past soon. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. It's so funny when you get older, you're just like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like people who get older, like, you understand, right? It's like when you like start hitting those milestones, right? It's like when you hit 20, you're like, yes, I'm 20. When you hit 25, you're like, yes, I'm 25. When you're about to hit 30, you're like, oh, 30. I don't know how else to explain it but that. But yeah, I am 29. I am going to be 30 this year, so getting older. So that's why I'm trying to, you know, accomplish certain things in life. I'm trying to get that house, trying to, like, you know, do some things in my life, because it's like, you know, we're hitting 30. Yeah, I think, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I keep saying it, and I know I'm gonna be 30, but it's just mentally, I don't want to prepare for that. I'm mentally still very much like a teenager. So mentally, it's like in my head, I'm not 30 yet, not even close to 30. But yeah, I'm gonna be 30 this year, the big 3-0. The last and final question is, what country would you most likely like to visit based on what crystals are found there? That's a really good question, and I've never gotten a question like this, and I need to think about that, because I've never actually received a question like this. What country would you like to visit based off the crystals that are found there? That's a good question. So actually, I would say, if you guys don't know, I actually am Russian. I was actually born in Russia as well. A 90s baby. We came here when I was really young. We came to America when I was 3 years old. So I've been here for a very long time, especially since you guys know now that I'm 29. I've been here for 26 years. I'm very Americanized. As you can tell, you don't hear a Russian accent, but I do actually speak Russian. But yes, originally I am from Russia, and there's actually really beautiful crystals that are mined in Russia, like charoite's from Russia, shungite, fluorites. There's just so many different beautiful crystals that are mined in Russia that I would actually really love to visit back home. I would love to go back home where I was born and just, you know, check out some of the mines there, because they're really absolutely amazing. I actually do follow on Instagram a Russian supplier, and the crystals are really, oh, they're just so gorgeous. I mean, they have everything that comes out of there. Crystals that can be mined in so many different countries, but like the same crystal, like for example fluorite can be mined everywhere. So yeah, I would just really like to go back home to Russia and see what they have to offer. I think that'd be really, really cool, especially since, I don't know, in my head, I never pictured crystals coming out of Russia. I don't know why. But yeah, when I found out like charoite and stuff like that is from Russia, I was like, oh, okay. I never knew that. But when I found out, I was just like, oh my God. And then when I started following the supplier who's from Russia, these stones that come out of Russia, oh my God, are so gorgeous. So yeah, so Russia would actually be a country I would like to actually go and experience the crystals, as well as that's where I was born. So yeah, just kind of back to the motherland for a little bit would be pretty cool. So yeah, that is all that I have for the questions. Thank you guys so much for all the questions. I hope this video wasn't too long. I'm definitely gonna edit, because I know I tend to mumble sometimes, so I'm definitely gonna edit this video so it's not too long. But thank you guys so much for the questions. I hope that was insightful. I hope you guys got to know a little bit more about me, where I'm headed, where I see things going for this shop. And yeah, just thank you so much. And I will definitely be doing another Q&A 6 months from now, maybe a year from now. Again, I just randomly do it when I look at my videos and I see a Q&A. It hasn't happened in a long time. I'll ask you guys to send me some questions, and yeah, I guess I'll see you the next time I do these questions again face to face. So until next time, as always, I love you guys and thank you guys so much for all your support. Until next time, bye guys.